Well, Becky, we have been seeing an alarming rise in the number of children that have been dying from malnutrition, from hunger. We heard from the Ministry of Health in Gaza that they say 4 children have died, or at least 4, in the past 3 days, the youngest of them just 3 months old. Now, we have a report, so I must warn viewers that some of these images that you are about to see are very distressing. 4-year-old Razan Abu Sahar was hospitalised with malnutrition more than 1 month ago. Malnutrition has caused her to suffer from a mobility disability, her mother says. Her health was good before the war, but there is nothing to strengthen her. No milk in the hospitals or pharmacies. Sunday, Razan became the latest child in Gaza to die of hunger. Her skeletal body laid out on a slab of stone, painful proof of the famine the UN and others have long warned about. It is shocking, but should not be surprising. In the space of 24 hours, 18 deaths were caused by famine, according to the Ministry of Health in Gaza. Yasser Ahmad was waiting at this soup kitchen since 6 a.m, desperate to take something home to his family of 12. Flour is expensive, he says. Everything is expensive. Where can we get food from? We don't know what we'll do in the end. Eat each other? When his turn comes, the amount poured into his bowl is minimal. He walks the 4 kilometres back home. When his wife sees how little is in the pot, she starts crying. Is this enough for 12 people, she asks? Is it enough for a woman who is 7 months pregnant? Even a 1-year-old child wouldn't be satisfied by this. Pouring the watery soup into one bowl, the family eats together. The father allows himself just 1 spoonful, leaving the rest for his children and grandchildren. After this, he says he will go to another soup kitchen to see if he can keep starvation at bay for 1 more day. Israel says the military is working to allow and facilitate the transfer of humanitarian aid into Gaza, including food, adding there are trucks yet to be picked up by aid groups. The UN says Israel often denies permission to move aid or approves routes too dangerous to travel. Thousands across Gaza risk their lives every day in the search for food. At least 73 people were killed Sunday by Israeli gunfire while trying to access aid, according to the Palestinian Health Ministry. The IDF says it, quote, fired warning shots in order to remove an immediate threat posed to them. It cast doubt on the death toll. The UN says accessing aid has become a death trap. The UN World Food Programme says Gaza's hunger crisis has now reached new levels of desperation. Hospital officials say they're seeing an unprecedented number of starving citizens arriving at emergency departments, a man-made catastrophe that has been continuously warned about. No one can say they didn't see this coming. We've had a statement as well from the foreign ministers of more than 24 Western nations, including the UK, France, Australia, Canada. It's stronger than it often is from these countries, saying that the suffering of civilians in Gaza has reached new depths. Also saying, quote, the Israeli government's denial of essential humanitarian assistance to the civilian population is unacceptable, saying the number of people that have been killed while seeking aid is horrifying.
Paula, thank you. And we warned you those images would be distressing, and they were, I'm afraid. The UN World Food Programme demanding shootings near aid sites in Gaza stop immediately, as you heard in Paula's report. Dozens of Palestinians were reportedly killed by Israeli fire on Sunday as the organisation tried to distribute badly needed food. Well, I spoke with the WFP's chief, Cindy McCain. We spoke earlier today, and she explained in detail what happened.
This is one of the worst tragedies we've seen so far in this particular war. What happened was we had clearance to go through the Zakim gate. We were through the gate. The Israelis had, as you know, they clear everything and they decide when and if you go in. And we began our trek down the road, and what we saw were thousands of people running towards us, and they were hungry, they're starving. And all of a sudden, the Israeli tanks, Israeli guns, Israeli weapons from all kinds started firing on the crowd. And it was just, it's something that I hope never happens again. But more importantly, our group, WFP, our people that work for us were there too, and they were put in grave danger as a result of that. No humanitarian aid worker should ever be a target of anything.
Well, this follows a trend over the last 2 months where over 800 Palestinians have been killed around aid distribution sites. The majority of those are at the controversial US-backed and Israel-supported Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. Can you be very specific? Are you coordinating in any way or supporting in any way that operational model? And what is your view on the GHF?
Well, we are not coordinating and we do not work with GHF. As you know, we're a UN agency. And so we have our UN, the way the UN operates is different from what GHF is doing. I don't really have any information about them at all because we don't even talk.
The GHF model was developed according to those involved with it, with private sector input and Israeli government coordination, designed to minimize Hamas interference. And there is much reporting of Hamas looting. Is there any evidence to suggest that that is correct? Have you seen any evidence of that? What is the picture on the ground?
Well, the picture on the ground is terrifying. Under no circumstances do we want any armed groups involved in or watching over or guiding us in whatever way they feel they should. Armed groups are not necessary, and we do not want them. We want to deal in safety and with the guidance of humanitarian principles and humanitarian law. When we had full access, we had 400 distribution sites. We were getting in 600 trucks a day. So the capability that we have is unmatched by any other organization or any other foundation with that in that respect. And the truth is, right now, the most important thing we could do is get the food in, and we know where our food goes because we have a system on the ground that is tested and works. And so as far as the looting goes, we view it a little differently. These people are starving to death. It is looting, but they're hungry. And so that does occur.
Is there any evidence to suggest that Hamas operatives, those associated with Hamas on the ground, are involved in that looting, in interfering with the aid distribution to the extent that that food aid is not getting into the hands of those who need it most?
You know, we've not seen that. We have seen what happens as a result of people starving to death. But with regards to who's in the armed groups and what it is, no, we've not seen that at all. We just continue to do our job and get the job done as much as we can.
Is there any sense that Israel will allow WFP and other aid organizations to do their job and restart aid? Have you spoken directly to Israeli authorities?
We talk to Israeli authorities daily, and each day there is some promises made, and we believe in the good faith. You're working on good faith. We need a ceasefire. That's exactly what we need right now to make sure that we can not just get in, but that keep a sustained ability to be able to get food in. Here and there, bits and pieces don't work. We need full sustained access. We need at scale so we can set up the kinds of aid stations that can actually help people and do it where it's not a panic situation, where they know they can rely on the food coming in that day. We are the largest food agency on the planet. We're really, truly the only organization that can do this at scale. And if there's one message I want to leave, it would be that we need to be able to get in. We need a ceasefire.
Cindy McCain speaking to me earlier.